Hi, welcome to episode 4 of the Stitching Book Nerd podcast. My name is Dana. I am your host. I have not made a video in quite a while. I think it's been a month. I meant to make one 2 weeks ago, and I got quite caught up in that setting I was telling you about. My exam is over now, so I have plenty of time to do this and knit and stitch and all that fun stuff and read. So, let's get into it. To start off, my exam. I did not pass my exam. You take it on the computer so you find out right away if you pass or fail. I didn't pass. However, I felt like I was pretty close to passing. There was a few problems that I was kind of on the border of getting or not getting. So next time I take it, I'm pretty confident I'll pass it. I don't really have to study any new material anymore. I just need to work problems. It's like a math test, so I can do that over the next 4 months before the next time we can take it. So I'll do that. It's kind of bummed I failed just because you like to knock those out, get them out of the way, but it's part of the process. I think I talked about last time, it would take a lot of exams to get credentials to be an actuary. So you're going to fail one or two probably along the way, even those you studied hard for, unless you're a super genius, which I'm not. So just kind of move past it, move on. It's going to happen sometime. So anyway. And this is the first test that I've actually really studied hard for and did not pass. So I've been lucky so far that I haven't had to try harder. Anyway, so I'll be studying for that, and that'll be in July. Like I said, it won't be as intense studying this time, which is good because I have also not had much time to knit or stitch in the past month, which has made me not the happiest person in the world. But like I said, it's all over now, so that's pretty much what I've been focused on since I took my test last Thursday. So today, I'll show you what I'm working on. Like I said, I haven't made a lot of progress on some things, although I do have a finished object, so that's exciting. So in the midst of stress for studying, one of the ways I deal with stress, other than eating junk food, is retail therapy. I'm responsible about retail therapy. My bills are always paid. I'm not in massive amounts of debt, but I do like to indulge in it, especially when I'm super stressed. So and it's also been a month, so there's lots of stuff to show you that I got. And then there's also, I finished several books, so we can talk about that too. So anyway, so let's get started. What am I going to talk about first? Stitching whips. So last time I showed you the nursery rhyme sampler thing, and I was working on the back stitch in the lower corner, and I finished that. So let me just show you. This is the whole thing that I've done so far. So I have the whole bottom done. So I don't remember if you remember from last time, I have a before and after picture on Instagram. The back stitch just really makes all these details stand out. So like all of their eyes and faces and the pig's faces and the little sheep's fur, which I think the sheep are the cutest things on here. All of that, wasn't there until I did back stitching. So the word school on school. So it just really makes a difference. I also added, I did this past weekend, put in Mother Goose's other wing. So all that white is actually stitched. It's not the fabric. So I did that while I watched some TV. So I'm over halfway done on this. I just need to do the side and the top, and it will be finished. So I'm feeling pretty motivated on this to get this knocked out. I say get it knocked out. It's still going to be quite a bit of work, obviously. So I still think I can get it done by the end of the spring, which was my goal. The only other thing that's really made progress is the band sampler. This is from, 2012's summer, fall, and winter, maybe, issues of the sampler in Antique Needlework Quarterly or something or other. Anyway, it's not based off an original antique sampler. It's just someone's design. This is for my grandmother. I changed the name to be her name and my grandfather's name. Their last name will be on this side. And I just got some more letters done. There's an alphabet that runs across here. And then started on the next band, which is some flowery stuff. I worked on this on a stitch day that I went to a few weeks ago. I think at the beginning of March. No. End of February. sometime in there. No, that's not right. Middle of February, I think there was a stitch that got delayed from snow or something. I don't know. Okay, anyway. So that's that. I really need to focus on this. I really want to have this done by Mother's Day. You will probably hear me say I really need to focus on every project that I'm working on. That's pretty typical. So, anyway, so there's that. I also started a new project, did not get very far on it, and probably will not do much on it because it's for me only, and those things never get worked on as much as just for other people. But it's the Once Upon a Time sampler. I started the far left top border, so this is the beginning of the January sampler. Here's just the border next to it. It's like Snow White and Seven Dwarfs, so here's one dwarf's hat by itself. Here's like some laundry, one line of laundry. So I just started in the top left corner, and I'll work my way across. So I'm doing them, I'm not going to do like all the border first. I'm going to do it as I go, because that would just be really boring. So do that, and the blocks I am now 3 months behind. Like I said, I knew I would be. I wasn't planning on keeping up with it, so that's okay. But I'm loving seeing everyone else's works in progress on the Facebook group. People are posting pictures of the blocks. The February block, I think I mentioned last time, was the frog prints, and then March's block was the 3 little pigs, and it's so cute. They're all so cute. But, I am really loving my fabric choice. The light's coming through behind, but it's this Tundra, I think it's Lakeside Linens. So just a really nice pale green. I really like it. I think it's different, but also looks good, which is important. So that's pretty much it for stitching. When I was studying, I did knit and stitch, but I didn't stitch as much because stitching, if I sit down to stitch, I want to spend at least an hour or so working on it just so I can make some progress. And I just couldn't give up, hour chunks of time, really, when I was studying. So I was studying pretty much full time, using my lunch break at work to study, etc. So anyway, so I did knit more than I stitch because knitting was easy. Like if I watched TV at night with my husband to relax, I could knit. I can't stitch and watch TV with him at the same time because he doesn't like that many lights on. So which is fine because I just knit instead. Anyway, so I did finish one knitted object. So I finally have a finished knitted object except for that old scarf that I made a million years ago. This is the Honey Cow by Madeline Tosh. I think released this pattern. This color is not quite that bright. The pattern calls for a DK weight, I think, so a little bit thicker yarn than what I used. I used a fingering weight. Diane of the Suburban Stitcher podcast was doing a fingering weight Honey Cow in like a rainbow gradient, which is really beautiful, and so I kind of took the idea from her. She was hosting a rainbow knit along, so since this yarn has all the colors of the rainbow in it, I entered it into the knit along for a prize, but I didn't win anything, but that's okay. I also entered it into the Homespun House podcast fingering weight knit along, which is just finished this last Friday, so maybe I'll win something there, but there's like a bazillion entries, so I don't think so, but that's okay. Anyway, so it's done. So it has this like kind of honeycomb slip stitch pattern. I really wanted to finish it in February, and I did. I finished it the last day that you could enter for the Rainbow Cow, and I love it. It's warm. I just wrap it around twice. It goes really great. Like over, if you're wearing like a coat when it's cold, it covers up that spot that usually isn't covered up by coats. It's cold. It's cozy. It's crazy colors, so I don't have to worry about matching it to anything because it won't match anything really. But I like crazy colors sometimes, so that's okay. Anyway, I just really liked it. First thing knitting in the first time that I finished something in the round, so I learned something new. Did a textured stitch pattern. That was something new, and just overall really enjoyed this. So I've worn it a bazillion times since then, which is why it's covered in my hair and the cat's hair. But anyway, so and this was the yarn was Mirasol Hashito, I think, which is a fingering weight yarn, 80/20 merino nylon blend in the maypole colorway, which I really like. The only thing I didn't like, it's just a variegated yarn, was that the yellow or orange or whatever that color is and the purple were next to each other in like the variegation. And then usually for pretty long, they were like the longest stretches. So like here in this section, you can really see they like really stood out. And while I like them fine, they're not my favorite colors in this yarn. So like I like this section quite a bit more. Do you see this crazy pulling? This one section of this pink or whatever pulled for like the longest time. Every time I came around to that section, I was excited when it was the same color again. It was just kind of fun to watch the pooling. But anyway, you can tell I'm such a noob at knitting. But anyway, so yay! I had this much left out of 2 skeins, so not too bad. Very happy with it. So that's one. Finally have a finished object on the videos. I'm excited. What else did I do? Oh, I've just really been knitting on the 2 scarves, so my scarf and my husband's scarf. They look the same, just slightly longer, so I'm not going to show those to you. I probably won't show them again until they're done. I started this, which is the Gifty Cowl. So it's in a chunky weight yarn, and it's just like a textured rib. So this goes really fast when I put time into it. I love the color. It's not quite true on there, but it's pretty close. That zigzag is interesting. I can't see that in real life. This is Malabrigo Chunky in the Verde Adriana colorway, I think. It's so soft and squishy. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to wear this. Which will be next winter. It's spring here for sure now. It's a little cold outside today, but it's pretty much warming up. So I probably need to hurry up and get this knit before it gets too warm, or I won't want to touch it in the summertime because it will be really hot, outside. But yeah, it goes super fast because it's on big needles, chunky yarn, so anyway, so that's, I think I finished, did I? Yeah, I finished the first ball of yarn this past weekend. I did a lot of knitting this past weekend, so since I finally had time to. So anyway, so it should be done relatively soon. I'm going to try to focus on, trying to knock out some of those projects so I can get started on knitting some new projects. Which you will see I definitely need to because I have a lot of new yarn. Which brings me to stash enhancement. Actually, let's save that for later. Let's talk about reading. So, in the month, I have not had that much time to read, but I did finish 2 books. One I was reading last time was Miss Bunkle's book. This was very good, very funny, a light read, but not, I wouldn't think it's insubstantial, really. Great, what am I trying to think of? Oh my gosh, my mind just went entirely blank. Character building, character insight, I guess, something like that you would say. But anyway, I really liked it. It's about a lady in a small British town in like the 30s, I think, and she wants to make some more money, and so she writes a book, but she's not actually like very imaginative, so she just writes about people in her town and changes their names. But then she writes about like their lives, but then she kind of says, makes things happen to the characters that hasn't actually happened to them, but just based on things about each other that, like, people in the small town know. So, have I mentioned I'm not good at describing things? Bear with me. So there's a couple in town that everyone knows, likes each other, but they're not actually together, but she has them in the book get engaged and get married, and then they end up actually doing that in real life after this book comes out. Some people, like the kind of meaner people in the town, don't like the book because they feel like they're being slandered, and they try to sue the author, but she wrote under a pen name, so it's all this stuff. But anyway, it's just, I don't know, it was really nice to read when I was stressed out because it was not stressful. So, recommend this book. I read a book, I think I don't think I talked about this last time. I was told there'd be cake by Sloane Crossley. It's a book of essays. She wrote this when she was in her mid to late 20s, living in New York. She worked in, I don't know, publishing or something. And we've been watching Girls recently, which is a show on HBO, written and directed sometimes by Lena Dunham. Kind of about the same thing. So girls in their mid to late 20s, my age, kind of dealing with being out of college, moving forward, trying to figure out, what kind of lives they want to have. Girls is funny. I mean, it's on HBO, so if you're easily offended by body parts and references to not so kosher things, then perhaps it's not for you. But I think it's funny. My husband likes it. It's, well written, well produced. So anyway, so I was kind of in the mood for stuff like that. And I've had this book for several years now. And so I just went, found it on my shelves and thought it'd be something easy to read right now because I could read, I can read an essay or two easily in not that in the 30 minutes or so that I might read at night. So I did not like it. I think I can say it. I mean, I didn't hate it. I don't find it like offensive or anything. It just wasn't very funny. It's always been portrayed as being hilarious and quirky and all that stuff. It's not. It's just, I felt like I just didn't care about any. These are personal essays, so it's about her life, her problems, which is fine. Yeah, I didn't care. I would finish a story and just say, like, I just really don't care. If you came up and told me that story, I would have almost no reaction to it. And then I got kind of annoyed because it was supposed to be funny and it wasn't. Yeah, so I don't really like it. I think there's a lot, in this genre of writing, there's a lot better examples than this. I saw one review on Goodreads that said it was like, if you were friends with her, you would care about these stories because she was your friend, and like, yeah, they might be funny then because you knew her, but if you're, I'm obviously not friends with the author. I just don't care, and I don't think they're very funny, and I'm kind of mad that you took so long to tell me this story. Anyway, like I said, not anything horrible about it. It's not like it offended me. I don't hate it. I think I gave it 2 stars on Goodreads, so, and that's pretty rare for me. If I'm going to give a book 2 stars, I probably didn't want to read it in the first place, so, kind of the first time in a long time that, I've read a book expecting to at least mildly enjoy it, and then I just didn't like it at all. So anyway, don't really recommend that one, although it has good reviews and bad reviews. That's really all I've finished. Still reading The Secret History. I picked this back up again after my test. It got no love during the time I was stressed because I think, like I mentioned last time, I don't like to read not so, I don't know, morbid, slightly depressing books when I'm stressed, so I didn't. But I picked it back up again since then. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with the book. I'm just stalling for no good reason. I have read a good chunk of At Home. I think I'm on page 360, so I don't have that much further to go. I like to kind of go slow with this one. It's pretty dense, so I like to take my time and just kind of soak up as much information as I can. I really wish that I had one of those brains that could just retain trivia, because there's so much good trivia in this book, but I don't, so I just remember random things. And I started a new book. What is this? Oh, Dodger by Terry Pratchett. This is young adult. Sorry if that's being shiny. Anyway, this is, I don't know how to describe this. It's kind of a, it's not really like it's not a retelling of Oliver Twist, although it does have a character Dodger in it who's supposed to be similar to the character in Oliver Twist. It's set in the same time as Oliver Twist, but it's almost like the character that Dickens would have based Dodger on, because Dickens is in this book. This Dodger interacts with Charles Dickens in this book, but it's just interesting and funny, and Terry Pratchett is a great writer. He writes the Discworld series, which is a beyond famous kind of comedic fantasy series. And he's, in the last, I would say, 4 or 5 years, he has been putting out books at an almost nonstop rate. I want to say he has some kind of illness. strange illness, and he's also older, and so it's almost like, I think he's mentioned this before in an interview, it's not just me being weird, is he's almost saying, like, I'm trying to write as many books as I can before I can't anymore. So anyway, so he's just been releasing them left and right, which is great because he writes awesome things, and it's not like his work is suffering, that, at least I don't think so, because of it. So anyway, yeah, he's so funny, and funny in like a nonsensical way sometimes, but also in a really smart way, like almost like not exactly like, but similar to like Douglas Adams wrote some of the most brilliant absurd humor I've ever read, which would he wrote The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, among other things. But anyway, so really enjoying this. I've had this for a couple years. I was waiting to read it after I read Oliver Twist, which I finished last year. Oliver Twist took me a lot, like way longer than it should have to read. It took me over like a year and a half. I don't know why, because I liked it fine, and I like books in that genre. Anyway, that's a side note. Okay. So that's what I've been reading. Oh, I've been listening to, let me pull this up on Audible so I can show you. On Audible, which I've gotten a lot of books on Audible recently. They had a sale a few weeks ago. It was like first book in a series or something sale. So I got quite a few of those because I read a lot of series. Anyway, here's sort of the cover. Oops, I don't want to listen to it. With the play button over it. But it's Etiquette and Espionage by Gail Carriger. This is in the same world as her Parasol Protectorate series, which actually I think last time I showed you that I had gotten one of those at the used bookstore or something. This is a young adult series. It's about this girl who gets invited to come to like a school for girls, but it's not like a traditional finishing school. They learn things like basically about espionage, but also at the same time they're learning how to be proper young ladies. It's just fun. It's so silly. It's like Gail Carriger, like the like Soulless or those in the other series. Like it's just mind candy, but it's fun mind candy. And like I said, my mind has needed some candy recently. So anyway, so I'm almost done with it, and I'm not really sure what I'll listen to next. Maybe something a bit heavier, since I've been indulging in that. Okay, what else? So that's all for reading. Stash enhancement. So yeah, it's been a month. So that's, okay. Before I show you what I'm about to show you, let me give you name a few items off the list, okay? 1, it's been a month. Quite a lot of time to buy things. 2, I don't have children. I don't spend money on anyone else but me and my husband. We have decent jobs, so we're not, hurting for money, thank God. I pay all my bills on time. I'm not in a lot of debt. And I really needed some retail therapy in the past month. So I will admit this is more than it's, normally recommended to buy. Oh well, it's a one-time thing. Sorry. Okay. I don't even know where to start. That's how much there is. Not good. Okay. Where should I start? Why don't I start by showing you how much there's this bag of stuff. By the way, this bag I got at Joann's because I didn't realize we had one, and I went to look at Joann's, and it's just like one of those $2 reusable bags, but it had like crafty stuff on it, and it was huge, and so I'm just going to use it to carry things to like stitching group and whatnot. And I kind of went to the Garden Center today. That's pretty full. Anyway, that's also got other things in it. So I'm just going to start pulling things out, and we'll just go through it one by one. So, okay, so places I have bought things recently. I got an update from an indie dyer, which I'll tell you about later when I get to it. I ordered some stuff from Knit Picks online because they were having a sale. And then I went last Friday. I live in Arkansas. I live in the capital, but in Hot Springs, which is about an hour away from here, we have the Oaklawn racetrack, horse racing. So last Friday, our department went out to lunch, and then we went to the races just for like a fun day. And so after I left there, there's a yard store in Hot Springs, so I just stopped in. So I went there, and then today I went to my local yarn store because I needed to get something for a project I'm making for someone. So gift stash doesn't count as real stash. That's perhaps not all I bought there, but we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, so when I was at the yarn store in Hot Springs, I found, and I was just looking around. At first I was looking around, I didn't quite see a lot that I wanted. She has a lot of cotton yarn, which there's nothing wrong with cotton yarn, and I perhaps even will one day really like knitting with cotton. I don't know if I like knitting with it. And I've heard lots of people say that it's hard for them to knit with, so I'm not going to invest in a lot of it until I know whether or not I like to knit with it. It's certainly a smart thing to knit with in Arkansas because we have really hot, humid weather for a good chunk of the year where wool is not appropriate. And so, a cotton cardigan or whatever would be appropriate here. Especially in this summer when inside the air conditioning is freezing, so you don't necessarily want to wear short sleeves all day at work. But outside it's ridiculously hot and humid. So anyway, beyond the point. But I did find some wool stuff that I liked. One of them was this, which is Fingering Weight yarn by Prism. And the yarn is called Saki. This colorway is called Spice. I'm not sure what spices these are, like purple, pink, and cream, but whatever. Oh, hold on. I'm expecting a package. Hi. Okay, so I had to go get a package. Also, I've already recorded part of this again, and then it messed up. So this is the second time I'm recording the second half of the show. So bear with me if I speed through this because I've already said it or forget something or whatnot. Okay, so I was talking about this yarn, which is the Prism Saki in the Spice colorway. Like I said, not sure what spices they're talking about. This is like a really nice pale pink, lavender, and cream. I don't know. Most of my spices are like brown and stuff. Anyway, but it's pretty, whatever it is. Saki is 80% merino, 20% nylon, so a nice sock yarn, but I'm going to use it to make a shawl. I've been looking for some yarns to make the color affection shawl out of, and I thought this would be like a really nice, have like one of the parts of the color thing be variegated and the other two be solid. So I'm doing this one. I got this at Knitting on the Corner in Hot Springs. Anyway, what was I talking about? Right, so I wanted two solid colors to go. So when I was there, she was unpacking some yarn. So like I had picked this out, and like one other thing, which I'll show you. Okay, sorry, I wanted to make sure I could find it. So as I was going up to check out, she was unpacking an order of Dream in Color, Smooshy with Cashmere, and Everlasting Sock, which I have some Smooshy with Cashmere, and I love Dream in Colors. I'm a huge, color is kind of my thing. So I was digging through all those because this is the first time she's had them in her shop, first time she had seen them, and so I got kind of first dibs on that. Anyway, so one of the colors that she had was, this is Dream in Colors, Smooshy with Cashmere, and this is the Butter Peeps colorway. And this does not go perfectly with this. It's even got like little tiny like overdyed flecks of pink and purple in it. It matches the cream. And this, perfect. So there's one of the solid colors I needed, or mostly solid. So I needed another one. So when I was at the yarn store today, I had a list of things, projects I was looking for yarn for. The yarn I already had with me, although I didn't have these two with me. There's the only two I didn't have for the products I was looking for. And I was looking around at their sock yarn, and I found this color, this is Spud and Chloe Fine Sock, which is 80% wool, 20% silk, so it's really soft. And these yarn, this has got cashmere, this is merino, but it's really soft. So it should go well together. This what was I saying? Oh, it's not really showing up quite as well as everything else is on the camera. It's a really just mild chocolate ice cream color. And so I just think it goes perfect with these. Kind of bring a dark neutral in there. Oh, it looks so good. It looks like dessert. Although if it had purple and pink in it, it'd have berries, and I don't like berries. So some dessert that I wouldn't eat, but that would look good anyway. So that's going to be, I think, a color affection shawl. I'm not sure which colors are going to go where in the shawl. It's kind of 3 sections that all stripe with each other, and it, you know, goes from top to bottom. So I'm not really sure what that's going to be, but we'll find out someday. I don't know when, but someday in the future. Okay, so the next 3 things I'm going to show you are yarns I got to go with yarns I already owned. For products, I kind of had planned for these other yarns. All these other yarns I got for Christmas this year, and I've since then been thinking, like, what am I going to do with these? So first off, I have a set of the Opposites Attract yarn from Barking Dog Yarns. The Opposites Attract are these sets of sock yarn where you have kind of like usually about 3 colors. So this color has blue as the main color with accents of this kind of cranberry and gold, but then the opposite skein will have one of these accent colors as the main color, so in this case gold, and then these other 2 colors as accent colors. So I really love this yarn, and it's supposed to be socks, so you're supposed to have 2 socks that don't match, but the colors are opposite of each other. Opposites attract. So I didn't want to make socks though, so I was looking for something to make. This is 400 yards of sock yarn, so I guess I can make like a shawl up. But anyway, I was kind of looking at bigger shawls. So a lot of what I was looking at was like striped shawls. So I think I'm going to stripe this with another like solid color. I think I'm going to do the pendulum shawl. So the stripes come in on this side and then this side come in a crescent shape and they meet in the middle to stripe, but then the other ends are solid. And I'm probably going to go top to bottom on this side with the stripes, and then on this other side I will have a solid color, which is this. This is what I got today at the yarn store. It's Shibui. Let me show you the Shibui Staccato in the raspberry colorway. That's 70% merino, 30% silk, so it's really soft. The Barking Dog Yarns is 100% fine merino, but it's fine, so it's really soft too. That's the wrong color. It is kind of matches this cranberry color. That's the other accent color. Although so the cranberry that's in here is only ever an accent. It's never like this, main color. So I thought those looked really good together because I was really having a hard time thinking like what I would pair with these two because they're kind of hard colors to pair something with. So anyway, but I'm really happy with this. I think it's going to look gorgeous. So can't wait for that. Okay, so I think I already picked this up and showed you, but I have another pair of the Opposites Attract. That was Elizabeth and Darcy. This is Catherine and Heathcliff from Wuthering Heights. So love these colors. I really love like the green and pinks and purples together. So this will be some other shawl that I can't remember right now, but I think like these will be the main. It's a crescent shaped shawl. No, it's a half circle. So this will, or I don't know. I've looked at so many shawls. It's some kind of shawl. This will be the main part, and then it needs a border color, which I was going to do in a solid, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be this, which is a dark gray. It's coming out darker on screen. This is in Shalimar Yarns in the Breathless base, which is 75% merino, 15% cashmere, 10% silk. So soft and squishy. In the Ore colorway, O-R-E. And I got this today at my yarn store. But here in this yarn where like the purple goes into the green, it makes this gray color, and so it kind of matches. Anyway, I'm sorry that the lighting's off today. I usually use my floor lamp over here, but my husband broke it, and we haven't gotten a new one yet. So, okay. So last of like the Christmas yarn was this Into the World sock yarn. It's in their Manchester sock base, which is 80-10-10 merino cashmere nylon, so it's pretty soft. I decided, so I have some other Into the World. I think it's just going to be socks, some sock yarn. I think they only make sock yarn. They also make fiber, which I hope to get some sometime. Anyway, am I talking too fast? I feel like I'm talking super fast. Regardless. What was I talking about? This is going to be, I think, a Byram shawl, which is a shawl with like groups of stripes. So you have like a main color and then the groups of stripes and the contrasting color. I think this is going to be the contrasting color, so it'll be variegated stripes. And the main color, which I got today, will be this Spud and Chloe. Also, same as that brown yarn I had earlier. Spud and Chloe Fine Sock, which is 80% wool, 20% silk. So it goes perfectly with this blue at top. It's so pretty. Oh, this is the Fathom colorway. My Into the World. Won't that be gorgeous? Anyway. So excited. I was showing my mom this earlier today, and she asked me when I was going to quit my job so I would have time to make all this stuff. Which would be, I mean, I like my job, so I don't really want to quit it. Although it would be nice to have all that time to knit. But one, I would get sick of knitting, and two, I couldn't buy all this yarn. So I don't think that will be happening. So the next things that I bought at my yarn store today, I have a friend in my small group at church who just had a granddaughter. And so I wanted to make something for her. I was going to stitch her something, but then I decided that I was going to stitch that for someone in my family. I had like the project all ready to go and stuff. And so I decided to knit her something instead. I was going to knit her a baby blanket because they're super useful. And you can make them in like cotton or something that's easy to take care of and you don't have to worry about washing it and stuff like that. So I asked her what her bedding looked like, and it was, she sent me a picture, and it's brown and pink and green, because it's a little girl. So I decided to make her a blanket, and I was looking in the store, and I was more concerned with color than I was a specific pattern. So I kind of found a yarn that had a bunch of colors that I thought would work, and then went to find a pattern to fit the yarn I was using. So the yarn I decided on was, they carry like a wide range of this, what is this called? Cotton Classic yarn. So it's 100% cotton. That way you can just throw it in the washing machine and you don't have to worry about it. And it's DK weight. So I just went and looked at DK weight baby blanket patterns. I ended up going with the Pearl Soho baby blanket, which is really just garter stitch stripes. So it's basically the simplest thing you could do that changes colors. But that's okay. It's pretty. It'll go with her bedding. It'll be easy to do. I can get it done quickly. You don't want to think about it. So it shouldn't be a big deal. So it's like 7 stripes though, so lots of colors. So what I did, I told you her bedding had pink, green, and brown. So I'm going to go brown to pink with green in the middle. And I can't show you them all at one time because there's 7 and I can't hold that many. But so here's the brown to the green. So really dark brown, medium brown, you know, green, green. Okay, that's nice. And then pinks. So, whoa, this is not highlighter pink at all. I would not put this in there if it looked like that. So like I said, my colors are coming out a little brighter than usual. So anyway, and then darker pink, slightly lighter pink, maybe pink. So I think those will all look really good together. And here are like the pinks and the greens together. So, you know, they look good together. Although, like I said, not as crazy as those look. So that will be what I'm working on mostly. Probably on knitting for a while, because I would like to get that to her soon. The baby was born in March, so I mean, I've got some time before she's not a baby anymore, but whatever. So this is a baby blanket, pretty big size project. So, well, I have a decent size project bag. It's like red and yellow and orange, which doesn't go with these colors, and your project bag should at least sort of go with your project, right? Alright, which is why I got a new project bag. This is at my local knitting store, I didn't order one, a Della Q bag, which they carry there. It has a little pocket on the inside, which I like, although for this project I probably won't need it. Anyway, it's not lined, but the fabric, you know, is pretty good and sturdy, so I just thought it was really pretty. And for whatever reason, like a lot of the prints that my knitting store carries in project bags, I just don't respond to very well. So anyway, so that's going to be nice. So I had them go ahead and wind this for me. And so it will be on the needle soon. So hopefully by when I film in the next 2 weeks, that will be somewhere close to being done. I don't know if it'll be done or not, but anyway. There's still a whole nother bag of stuff to show you guys. My life. Okay. Let me see. Oh, I'm sorry that I'm off camera. Okay, I have 2 more things. Okay, these I got at the Hot Springs store. Just some sock yarn. I don't even know what I'm going to do with this, if I'll make socks or not. It's really pretty. This is Mana still, Uruguay, and the Allegria base. So sock yarn, I think, yeah. Go fingering weight. 75% merino, 25% nylon. So it's nice and soft, and it's grays and greens. Looks like Slytherin colorways to me from Harry Potter. I am a cross between a Ravenclaw and a Slytherin. So, and Slytherin's green was my favorite color, so whatever. Anyway, so I like these. These might be socks. Or they might be something else. We'll have to wait and see. No idea. I just bought it because I wanted it. This was, so I told you that she was opening that box of the Dream in Color stuff. So part of what that was Everlasting sock. And when I saw this colorway, it is just about this bright. This is not far off. I couldn't leave it there. It's so pretty. Look how pretty it is. It's so green. I think I'm going to make this into a shawl. I had a shawl picked out. I forgot what it was. Or not a shawl. A cowl. But like a textured cowl with like a nice stitch texture in it. Not just a plain one. Because it's gorgeous. So pretty. That's the thing about sock yarn. Some of it is so pretty that it would make gorgeous socks, but then no one would ever see them unless I took my shoes off all the time and put my feet in people's faces, which they probably wouldn't appreciate. Yeah, so I'm torn. Like, do I make socks and gorgeous socks and then go look at my beautiful socks? You don't have socks like this. Or do I make something like a cowl or a shawl that I could wear, or, you know, something like that? I would say sweater, but I'm not. I don't need to learn how to knit sweaters because the last thing I need to be doing right now is buying sweater quantities of this stuff. Anyway. So yeah, there's no way I'm making this into socks. Too pretty. She had another color too, another green in Everlasting that was also gorgeous, but this was so vibrant, and I've never seen a green like this in another yarn. Oh, so pretty. Can't wait to knit with them. Okay, so that's all of the stuff I bought in the store. Let's go to what I bought online. Okay. So, one of the things I've been wanting to do, knitting-wise, is learn how to knit socks. I think I mentioned that before. I think it'd be a great project to have on the go all the time. I can, you know, just plain socks you can knit anywhere. Watching TV, in the car, at lunch, whatever. They don't take up a lot of space. I think, I like having fun socks to wear. I do that anyway, so why not knit them? And there's so much fun self-striping sock yarn out there. It's crazy. So anyway, so I've been looking into getting sock yarn. I know, like, one time I showed you, like, I bought some just plain, or not plain, but cheap yarn, like at Hobby Lobby to practice making socks with. I haven't started learning how to. I hope to probably this week. I just put that off until after my exam because I was going to have to spend a couple hours sitting down with it, learning how to make socks, and I didn't have that time. So, and I also didn't want to distract myself because then I would probably want to make them all the time. So I didn't, but now I'm going to. So, of course, since now I'm going to, mind you, I haven't yet, but I figured I might as well go ahead and build up a base of sock yarn. So, I was watching a podcast or something, and someone said, like, Knit Picks has a self-striping yarn called their Felici base that everyone on podcasts has always raved about. So, they're discontinuing it, though, and so everyone's freaking out because they always have the coolest colorways and stuff like that, and they're always coming out with new colorways. So I went online just to look at it, and it's on sale right now because they're discontinuing it. So it's already pretty cheap. It's like $5 a skein right now, and it wasn't that much anyway. So I bought quite a bit of it because it will be gone forever soon. So I'll just show you. I think I got 5 colors. I'm not really sure. I think that's what it is. So I'll just show you the colors I got. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So I got the Splash colorway, blues, the Shamrock colorway, some darker greens, the Foxglove colorway, so pinks and purples, the Lighthouse colorway, so just blue and then white, but the white has some blue tonal stuff in it. These would be good socks for my husband. These would be good socks for my husband. Or me, too. We'll see. And then Spring Mix, so lighter greens. So that's what I got. And it's so soft. I can't believe how soft this is for being 100% wool. No, it's not. It's... Why did I think it was 100% wool? 75% wool, 25% nylon. One of these I thought 700% wool. Nope. Don't know where I got that. Anyway, 75% merino, 25% nylon. So, lots of pretty colors. So I got that. And I got 2 skeins of each because it's 50 grams a ball or 200 yards, so you need 2 to make a pair of socks. And then, one more thing I got in Hot Springs at the yarn store was some Regia self-patterning, not self-striping sock yarns. I don't know if you can tell in the picture, but it doesn't just make stripes, it makes like these little squares of stuff, but you just knit it, you don't do anything special, so kind of some fun primary-ish rainbow colors, something different. So that'll be socks someday. Okay, and so then last weekend, one of the podcasts I watch is Mustache Podcast, and Stacy, who's one of the co-hosts, she also dyes yarn, and her colors are beautiful. She does self-striping, she does solid, she does several different bases. I think her self-striping is kind of what she started with, and that she's most popular for, but she's done some sweater collaborations with some designers, and I would love to get a sweater's quantity of her yarn because some of the most beautiful colors I've ever seen. Anyway, so she said she was going to have an update. She showed some of what she was putting up, and she had a new colorway in sock yarn that was gorgeous and some other stuff. And so when I was looking at the picture of what, here's some of what I'm going to be putting up there, I decided I hadn't bought yarn in a while at this point. And then since then I bought it 3 more times, but anyway. And so I was like, I'm going to, I'm stressed about my exam, I'm going to buy some yarn. And it'll calm me down. Anyway. By the way, I'm not like tests don't stress me out. These tests stress me out because they're so hard and they're really important for my career, and I know they're going to be exhausting and hard when I take them, even though I'm not bad at taking tests. So anyways, when I say I'm stressed out, I don't have test anxiety necessarily. It's just these particular tests are stressful. Back to what I was talking about. So I bought some yarn. So this was my second time buying yarn from an indie dyer who was so popular that when they're having an update, they announce it and stuff is gone within seconds of her putting it up there to buy. So it was last Saturday at 6. It doesn't matter. Anyway, and so I had 2. Okay, here's the 2 I want no matter what. And if they're gone or I have time, maybe I'll get something else. And I was really just gonna get 2 because she doesn't have that much that she posts because she dyes by hand, and so I didn't want to be greedy because a lot of people want the stuff, and it's just kind of, in my opinion, rude to take a bunch of it. So, So anyway, so I got on there, and she posts one thing at a time. So as you're refreshing, like, one thing will pop up, but it's not the thing that you want. So you keep refreshing, and then another thing will pop up. And for whatever, I haven't really done this very much, where you're waiting on an update. So for whatever reason, in my mind, I thought it would just all go up at one time, which is fine. I just didn't know what to expect. So I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and, like, I was worried that I'd missed it, and what I wanted was already gone, so I'm like, well, I might as well buy this, because I really like it, too. So I ended up with 3 things, 2 of which I planned on getting, 1 I did not. So I'll just show you what I got. So the 2 I planned on getting were, oh, these are so pretty. I love this yarn. And these are all in her Perfect sock base, which is 80/20 merino nylon. These will be socks, I'm pretty sure. So this is Fae Queen. Look at these colors. Pinks, greens, like tans. It looks like fairies in the woods or something. It's just gorgeous. And it's, I don't know, this yarn, like, when I've unwound 2 of these skeins, which you'll see because they don't look as pretty as this one anymore. And just looking at the yarn, like, out flowing around is unbelievably gorgeous. And it's just beautiful. And she had a sample of this, I think a picture, like, knitted up, and it looks gorgeous. And I cannot wait to make socks with this. This is a sock where I'll take my shoe off and be like, look at my feet right now, because it's beautiful. The other color I really wanted was this one. This one you can tell I've messed with because it's like in a fat ball, because I don't know how to reskein things very well. This is, look how beautiful it says, Koi Pond. I think this was one of her new colorways. When I saw the picture of this, like the pre-update picture, I mean, it's just, oh, I love this color so much. It's unusual, but it looks just like koi fish in a pond. You've got, like, these gorgeous pale oranges with the whites, but then, like, blue in the water. Oh, so pretty. I'm still fangirling over this yarn, like, hardcore. When I opened this package, thank God I was at home by myself, because I was running around squealing. Let me unskein it, like, look how pretty it is. It's gorgeous. I'm not crazy. This is beautiful. It's beautiful. So anyway, yeah, so that's 2, and then there was a third one. So the third one is the one I didn't know I was gonna get. So what happened is Fae Queen showed up. I put it in my cart. I didn't see Koi Pond. I was worried it was gone already, which is fine, because you can't always get what you're trying to get, because there's lots of people who also want it. And so I was like, well, I don't just want one thing. And so I got this also. I've already unscanned it too, so I'll just take it out. But this is a hand-painted one that she did, and it's called Nashville Nights. And it's just beautiful. I mean, you've got, like, these dark indigo, and the colors are coming out a little wonky on screen. I don't know, it's like rainbow, sort of, but like a grown-up rainbow. It's not so, like, the yellow's more gold. Oh, it's just so pretty. This is not doing it justice whatsoever. This is more like, more blue-green, not so blue. And the indigo's more purple, not like the looks royal blue. That's not at all what it is. But anyway, it's just beautiful. So I put these 2 in my cart. I started checking out, and in the process of checking out, like, I had to go to PayPal. I went back and refreshed again, and there was Koi Pond, so I got it too. So I actually placed 2 separate orders. But Stacy's a smart girl, and she just sent it on shipment. But anyway, so that was me being crazy. So next time I will restrain myself and leave more for other people and try not to be greedy, but I really didn't mean to. It just kind of happened. Anyway, this is beautiful. I love this so much. So I think that's it. That's all the yarn I bought. I have a couple tool stuff I got. For stitching, I bought this. You may be wondering what this is. This is strips of shelf liner. It's like grippy, patty stuff. And what you do is I use Q-snaps mostly for, like, a frame. And if my Q-snaps, now that I've used them a lot, they've stretched. The clamps have stretched, so they don't pull as tight anymore. And so you put this under under the clamp, but in between the clamp and your fabric. And it puts some more padding in there so you can pull it tight and it won't shift back very easily. And it also, will protect your stitches some. So I bought a roll of this at Bed Bath & Beyond for like $10. I got the white. They had some like colored ones. I was afraid that that might like flake off or something. So I got the white, and I've been using it and I really like it a lot. It works fine. The clamps go over it without too much of a problem, and they don't move after I've got them where I want them, unless I want them to. So that's been going in like $10 for like a huge roll of it, and I just cut strips off when I need them. So that's been good. I got a new needle gauge because my yarn store finally had some in that goes all the way to 000. I had one, but it didn't go down that far, and I have some pretty small needles that I wasn't sure what size they were. I got 1 inch 1 inch circulars would be quite interesting to knit with. You have like this much needle. 9-inch circulars, although I think I need a different size because I might, when I'm learning knit socks, I might try this method. Don't know if I will or not. And then I got these twistable colored pencils from Crayola because people on my stitch group use these to mark their pattern charts. And I saw them when I was at Walmart or something one day, which I never go to Walmart, so I'm not sure why I was there. Anyway. And so I just picked them up to try them. They're a little less terrifying than highlighters. Highlighters always scare me around stitching because ink and stitching don't really mix very well. And the other really cool thing I got was I did not buy it because someone gave it to me. I think I've talked about before how I knit Portuguese style, so I need a hook or a pin of some sort to pass my yarn through to tension it. And the reason I don't even know about Portuguese knitting is because of a lady at my yarn store whose name is Rita. Who also goes to my local stitching store whose name is Rita. And she does beading and jewelry making and things like that. And so she's made some for herself because she does Portuguese knitting. She made a necklace, which is a simple black cord with a really nice big hook. Hook? What? Hook. I'm trying to say hoop and hook at the same time, and it came out hook. Hook at the end of it. Very easy to pass yarn through. And the one that I was using, or I still use, has 2 hooks on it. So like if you're doing color work and you need 2 strands of yarn going, that's what that's good for. But most of what I'm doing right now is 1 strand, so this works perfectly fine. She also made some pins, so you can pin this on your clothing. Just put that hook, it's like an earring hook, through your shirt, and then this little clasp you open up and then pass your yarn through and then hook it back, and then it's shut in there. So you would just put it on your left side because Anyway, so she made 2. Actually, there's another lady in our group who's just learning to knit, and she has started knitting this way. And Rita gave me like 2 necklaces, 2 of these, and said to give 1 to her and 1 for me. So I haven't decided which one I want yet. I like this one. It's green. I like this one too, but this one's a little heavier, so I might use this one. I don't know. Anyway, so there's that. And then she also made some little stitch markers, just some little dangly stitch markers. They have different colored beads on them. Whoa, don't need to see my hand. There's little square stitch markers, so that'd be great. Can always use more stitch markers. So that was super sweet of Rita, and I really appreciate it. And now that I have like more than 1 of those necklaces, I can drop those in more than 1 project bag and not have to worry about making sure I have that with me, because without it I can't really knit the way that I want to. So anyway, I think that's all of my stash today. That was literally half the show. And I'm pretty sure it got darker in here, so the sun's going down as I talk about this. Not really. Anyway, sorry the episode is so long. It won't be this long in the future, hopefully. Although most of mine have been pretty long. there was just a lot to talk about because it's been so long since I've made a video. I will hopefully be back on schedule every 2 weeks. I still think that's probably the best for me, so I actually have something to show you. Like I said, my studying for the next attempt at this exam won't be as intense, so it shouldn't become an issue as that comes back up again. What else is going on? In other news, I'm attempting to convince my husband I need a spinning wheel. That's not going great right now. I hope to get a sewing machine soon, maybe for my birthday from one of my parents or something. Because I totally need more hobbies. What else is going on? I hope to get my shelves sometime soon from my father-in-law. He's super busy, which, like I said before, is awesome. But I really need some organization in my craft area. It's getting a little bit crazy over there. So it's in this corner, but you can't in this corner, but you can see where it's sort of spilling out. But it's really just one mountain of stuff. I think that's everything. I hope everyone's enjoying the videos that's watching. Please, if you like them, let your other crafty people know about them. If you have comments, questions, anything, leave comments on YouTube, on the blog. Still considering moving the blog, not sure on that yet. I think that's it. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. I'm being more active there. Post picture, I'll post pictures on there quite often. And on Ravelry and the cross stitch forum as Book Knurd, BOOKKNURD. And also on Instagram as Book Knurd. I'm on Twitter as book_nerd, but I don't really use Twitter right now, so that's it. Thanks for watching me. And I'll see you next time. Bye.